I think when women or people, I should say, are lost, they look to experts for guidance. It's like, okay, that's a good thing, right? They look for a class, a module, a structure of like, tell me what to do, and then I can go ahead and do it. The problem is that when we're doing something so new and life altering, like beginning a business, and I say life altering because it's the unbeaten path. And when we go on the unbeaten path, there's a lot of resistance that the ego will give you. Welcome to Mindset Mastery Podcast, where we explore the intersections of motherhood and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Julissa Edwards, and in each episode, we're diving into mindset, emotional regulation, and the real stories of mom entrepreneurs navigating both business and family life. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to another solo episode with yours truly, Julissa Edwards. On this Friday morning, I want to talk to you about what it really takes to begin a business. As you may or may not know, I am in pre launch mode. We have been providing hella value and support to mamas who are interested in beginning a business that have children, small children at that. And I've been conversing with so many moms, not just so we have a free WhatsApp group. If you haven't already heard about it, there's a link in the show notes to join. That is super supportive. We talk almost every day during my work hours, Tuesday through Friday. I give insights and tips and mini trainings, and we have almost weekly community calls. Probably going to just skip the one for the holiday for Thanksgiving and probably Christmas, but it's essentially 2 free months of coaching before we officially begin and launch the BBB Mastermind Balancing Business and Babies. And so I've been talking to a lot of mamas on there, on and off the WhatsApp group. We're running ads. So I have a lot of mamas in my DMs, in my inbox, also asking me questions. I'm also, as a business owner, I'm promoting this everywhere. So I'm totally telling, my community about it here in my neighborhood. Um, any mom that I see that I think genuinely would be a great fit for this program that desires to have a business, I'm letting her know about it. So, le- least to say, I am having a lot of conversations about women, mothers in particular, that desire to own a business or start a business or become an entrepreneur or make their own money. And there's a lot of varying degrees of where this woman stands, right? It could be somebody that, a very small population of somebody that has actually tried something and then stopped. Majority of the population, the women that I've been speaking to, are women that have this idea and have been either planning or dreaming about it for a while, but haven't taken any actionable steps yet. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I think when women or people, I should say, are lost, they look to experts for guidance. It's like, okay, that's a good thing, right? They look for a class, a module, a structure of like, tell me what to do, and then I can go ahead and do it. The problem is that when we're doing something so new and life altering, like beginning a business, and I say life altering because it's the unbeaten path. And when we go on the unbeaten path, there's a lot of resistance that the ego will give you. It is so much more normal to be in a 9 to 5 that you don't necessarily enjoy fully for the sake of bringing home money to your family, which is honorable. Like, I'm not knocking that. But that is so much more acceptable, normal in our society than going off the beaten path, believing in yourself to make your own money, your own income, to one day hopefully replace and make more than what you currently make, right? And everybody's goal is different. You could just want a side hustle to A side hustle with your name on it is still a business, by the way. But you could just want a side hustle that produces, I don't know, 2K a month, so that maybe on top of your part-time job or your salary, like you're able to take lavish vacations with your family. Who knows? I don't care. Respectfully, like everybody has different motivations, and you just have to know that you just have to be clear on what your motivation is, right? And so whatever that is, the biggest mindset block, or the biggest block in creating a business, is mindset. And let me tell you why. Out of all the moms that I'm talking to and all the entrepreneurs that I've helped over the course of the last 4 years of my business, y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all don't want to hear this. It has so much more to do with inner work, healing, shadow work than it has to do with business strategy. There are so many gurus out here teaching business. You could easily go to YouTube University and find exactly what you're looking for. Hey, I'm a mom trying to, you have AI now. Like, I'm a mom trying to build a business around blank, blank, blank. Like, you don't need me to tell you how to do that. I mean, could I give you my personalized expertise in balancing business and motherhood? Yes, that's why I created the mastermind. But for strictly business logistics, plans, processes, you can Google that. Right. And so you have to really be honest with yourself at this point and ask yourself, what is really holding me back? Right. For most mothers, it's the idea of lack of time management. It's the idea of, I'm already so tired and stressed. How could I possibly take on another task? It's the troubling mindset hurdles of, I don't know if I can really do this. Could I really leave my 9 to 5? Will people believe in me? What do I even have to bring to the table? You see, all of those problems have nothing to do with strategy. Nothing. All of those problems are 1,000% have to do with the woman and where she is on her healing journey. And so that's why my background as a licensed mental health therapist and a mindset coach is really beneficiary, because that is a majority of the work that we have to do, especially in the very, very, very beginning of building a business. Before I set foot onto the world of Instagram and began promoting myself on stories, literally, I have the Time Hop app, and so uh, I'll always look at it because it's usually my children, and it's just nice to see like where I've come from and just all the things that have changed over the past couple of years, even before kiddos, and you know what always pops up? Me talking on my stories, me talking on Instagram, me going live on social media. Like that is always something, because it's linked to Facebook. Always something that is there. And I'm like, you know what? I have been doing this for a long time. 4 years of me talking into my phone, promoting my lifestyle, promoting my mindset, promoting my career. And I love it. I'm so proud to be so dedicated, right? And I will tell you that in the beginning, when I first started doing that, by the way, that's not the only way to build a business, but this is just how I did it. Um, well, I'll say this: you don't have to use social media. And another big misconception, you don't have to post your family if you don't want to. Um, but you most definitely have to advertise yourself. And that is something else that women and mothers, people in general, have a hard time doing, right? Like screaming at the top of your lungs, I have this amazing product. Come buy it. Come buy it. Come through. I had this amazing new concept. Will you join? Like people have a really hard time doing that. Understandably so. It's scary. It's ballsy. It requires confidence. It requires courage. And again, all of those problems have nothing to do with strategy. Maybe like an ounce of like the strategy here is, if you don't talk about your business, nobody will know. Uh, what you're doing or how to buy. Like, that's just plain and simple. If you don't advertise, if you don't speak about what you're doing, how the hell is anybody going to buy from you, right? It's not just putting up a sign and being like, we're open, I hope you come in. Like, people think that you need landing pages, a website, fancy funnels. Like, negative. What you need is your mouth to open and say, hey, I'm X person doing X thing. Would you like to learn more about this? Like, that is literally the first step in gaining your first couple of clients. No one gives a crap about your landing page, respectfully, right? No, at this point in my business, I do those things now just for like extra, just to be, I don't want to say to be extra. Like, now I have the funds and resources to do that, but that is not what made me my first. You know what? I'm gonna pull up my, just so that I'm not lying or bending the truth even a little bit. My first year, I'm looking at my Excel sheet literally right now. My first year in business, I made $57,000. That was 2020, when I was still balancing. I was slowly but surely leaving my 9 to 5. I think I went part time in my 9 to 5 in March to do the business. I started in January. I was making enough funds to go part time in March. That was a quick leap, a jump of me deciding, let me cut back on my 9 to 5, and then in November I completely cut the cord and went full time in the business. But that year in 2020, I'm looking at my Excel sheet right now. I made $57,000 and $507. Okay, and I'm bringing that up because that first year in business, I didn't have any of the fancy stuff, and I made over 50K. Okay. I didn't have a website. I think in the middle of maybe 6 months into my entrepreneurship journey, I hired um, my my first VA, who's now my VA stands for, it's a virtual assistant. My first virtual assistant, who's now my office business manager and my creative director. She does so much for me, Lorena. I love her. She's the one who's editing these videos. I've dropped her name before because she is everything to me in this business. And yeah, so all of that was done without the fancy stuff. All that we were doing as a team was promoting on Instagram. She was handling my videos, editing them to make them better. Some people can do this on their own. I'm not tech savvy like that. And I was also pregnant and getting ready to birth a baby. And this is one of the things I'm going to be teaching inside Balancing Business and Babies Mastermind. Like, you can't be doing all the things. You have to learn how to outsource. Here's yet again another mindset and healing issue. You have to learn how to outsource. That is one of the things that I will be teaching you. That is hard to do for a lot of mothers. I've in the entirety of my business and as a therapist, I've worked with so many moms. And moms have a really hard time asking for help. Moms have a hard time delegating. Moms have a hard time putting themselves as the authority figure. I train and teach my entrepreneurs and mothers to think, to be the CEO of not only your business, but your household. Even if you have a loving, supporting partner like I do, right? It's not that I am over him or I am better or more of a masculine energy, negative. But the way that I streamline my thoughts, the way that I organize my children's activities, it is very CEO organized, day by day, time blocking. Like, if you got to be organized, right? And the hardest part is asking. One of the hardest parts is asking for help, right? And again, that is another example of that has little to do with strategy. It's like, yes, there's strategy in there of like, you one day you will have a team and you need structure and da da da. But in the beginning, it's just you. And outside of business, are you asking for help throughout your motherhood journey? Are you quote unquote white knuckling it and just getting by day to day? Do you have shame when you ask for help from family, friends, neighbors? Do you willingly accept help if people are offering it? These are all mindset shifts and wounds that we have to heal within our own interpersonal journey as a mother, as a woman, as a mother, and then as a business owner. Okay. Business, if you're a mom listening to this, you know how motherhood is such a deeply profound journey of inner work, and it's so much bliss paired with so much chaos, paired with so much love, paired with so much stress. Like it is a up down, but it is like it's beautiful. The hardest work we've ever done, like the hardest job we've ever done, and the most gratifying, right? The most elated, expansive that we have felt. Motherhood is a beautiful mirror to show us through our children, through our babies, what needs to be healed, to show us what our subconscious, unconscious patterns are and how that was learned from our past and upbringing, and how that needs to be looked at with a finer comb, and comb and tweeze out or comb out all the limiting beliefs and jarring or foggy perspectives that we have picked up from our upbringing, right? It's a beautiful time, whether you're willingly going into it or forcefully going into it, because motherhood will do that to you, whether you like it or not. It's showing you exactly who you are. It's showing you who you are under stress, who you are under limited sleep, who you are juggling the many hats. It's showing you exactly who you are when shit gets rough, right? And you're either handling it with grace or you're not. I am not, listen, I am a human. I think people like don't understand. I am a human being just like the rest of you. I have my moments where I lose my marbles, I lose my shit with the kids. I have my time where I definitely take things way too personal. And it's like they're just kids, right? And then it's up to me to reflect and think about, why did I take that so personally? What's coming up for me as a woman and a human being? What is this teaching me about myself? And how can I learn and grow from this? And if need be, how can I apologize to my children, to my husband, to whatever, to whoever, for how I acted in that moment of tension, right? And so, business is just like that. It's just like that. And if you don't have a solid foundation of inner knowingness, of or at least willing. You don't have to have it, right? And no one's ever perfect. I'm always learning and growing still till this day, and I will do so forever. Um, but if you don't have the willingness to look inward or hire help, support to help you do so, you're going to be stuck in the same place you've always been for the past some odd years of, I have an idea, but I'm not really doing anything with it. I kind of told some people, I kind of didn't. I started, I stopped, I started, I stopped. Like, this is all healing work. And maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, I said, I don't know if y'all want to hear this, because at uh, let's teach you guys something here. As a business owner, when you're promoting something, you have to lead with, what is a transformation? What is the transformation that you are going to be giving your clients? So for me, promoting BBB, balancing business and babies, a transformation is that by the end of 3 months, you will have mindset tools, business strategies, to be able to successfully launch a business while balancing your role as CEO and mother. That is the end transformation of this mastermind. As a healer, as a coach, what people don't normally willingly know or opt into is that in order for me to get you there, there's going to be a hell of a lot of inner work that takes place. And that is what I think a lot of coaches in this industry lack, right? Um, the skills and tools to truly help change somebody's life by healing in order to get them to the intended goal, right? And I'm not trying to say this as like a pompous like flex, like, oh, I'm better. Like, just know, like, the coaching industry is changing in the best way possible. um I've been hired maybe 4 months ago, and I have more opportunities coming like this, where I've been hired to assist other coaches with their clientele. strictly on the mental health portion of it. I help one of my dear colleagues and friends. Her name is Kara. She is a dietitian. Um, she has a program called, I think her acronym is FMLA. um, Functional FFLA, Functional Fat Loss Academy. That's what she runs in her business, and she has hired me as their in-house mental health coach, because she understands the value that is needed when making large transformations like weight loss or a new lifestyle or eating healthier or whatever, or hormone balancing. She does that with her ladies too. Kara is an expert. Kara is an expert in her field of, as a dietitian, as a nutritionist, as a personal trainer. She is like top notch. I used to be one of her clients. She's amazing. She's only gotten better and better and better over the years. And her being so powerfully or skillful in her craft, she also understands that her clients need the mental health support to have true lasting transformations, because it's not just about the thing that you're teaching them. So for me and my mastermind, it's not just about the business. It's not, I promise you, that part is like 20% of the weight that it takes to make this happen. The other 80% is all up here. Mindset is all in here, your heart. Okay? It's about your identity. It's about what makes you fearful. It's about what are your coping skills. It's about how are you going to handle the day when your business does take off, and you have all these clients paying, and then somebody backs out, and you already used that money to pay for something else for the business, and now you're backtracking. Like, how are you going to handle all of that? That has nothing to do with your skill set and whatever you're doing in business, and all to do with how do you manage your stress levels? How do you encompass new identities forming while juggling the role of motherhood and your own personal life? How do you cope? How do you heal? How do you hold yourself during times of hardship? And so, undoubtedly, if I'm helping you in that arena, you're going to become a more grounded and stable mama. You're going to become more present, more loving, which is the goal too of this mastermind. For so long, I've been teaching mamas over here on the left and entrepreneurs over here on the right. And it dawned upon me that we should really be bringing these two groups together. Moms in business is a whole other beautiful machine that we get to tap into, because we already know and have learned so many things from our motherhood experience, like staying up long nights in that newborn stage, being tested over and over with those toddlers that are talking and they are asking questions and they are requesting a lot from you, and you feel like you're being stretched really thin. There are also moments in your motherhood journey where you're looking at, you wake up. I had this moment just last night actually. It felt like Christmas. It was so beautiful. I was up late. You guys may or may not know I have a new work schedule where I work 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And that requires me to go to bed early. And for the most part, I've been doing it. I'd say 75% of the time. There's still that night owl in me that sometimes stays up really late. And as a business owner and just who I am as a person, I also sometimes get really excited at night, like with ideas. And so I'm either literally typing away on my phone on my notes app, or setting up notes for my team for the next day. Like I get so passionate. Sometimes these ideas just come literally overnight where I'm like, ooh, I've got to write this down now. So last night was one of those days. I definitely stayed up much later than I should have. And around 1 a.m., my babies woke up. My babies are sick, mostly my son right now. And he was coughing. He woke up, and luckily I hadn't fallen asleep yet. So it was really easy for me to just get up, put my phone down, and go tend to my babies. And so I picked up Marcus, my son, and Maya, of course. They sleep in the same room. So she's like, hello, me too. And I'm like, you guys want to come to mommy and daddy's room? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I bring them over, and my brain is still buzzing, fired up, just wired of like all these ideas and how I get to support women and moms and all the great things that we're bringing forward for this mastermind. And my daughter is looking at me. She's cuddling with me. My son is cuddling with my husband. And she's looking at me, recognizing that I haven't fallen asleep yet. um, and like I'm thinking my eyes are wide open. And I'm happy. I'm just so happy and I'm just grateful. And I look at her and I'm like, I say, I love you. And she says, I love you too, mommy. And it's just so wholesome. It felt like Christmas morning. I don't know what it was. Like, it felt like I was up late with no worries about tomorrow. And like, even though I did have work the next day, it felt like I didn't. And so it was just like, those moments where you get to take off with your family and just be fully present, and how soul nourishing and enriching that feels. That's what it felt like. I was just so present in that moment with her, and she asked to hold my hand, and so I did. Give her my hand as I was like cuddling her, and it was just so beautiful. Like the moon was bright, it was reflecting off of the water in our backyard, and it was late at night, but I could see everything. It kind of felt like how it was in my life. It's like it's a messy, chaotic time. You got two little ones, you're running a business, but everything is so clear and so still, and you're in the right place at the right time. And I'm so grateful to be doing this all, right? And so it's those moments that you experience in motherhood, as you're creating a family and you're growing little ones, that you also get to experience in your business. It's those moments where clients give you, oh my God, 5-star testimonials, text, videos, of how much you impacted their lives. What a blessing. So humbling. So humbling, right? Sometimes I wonder if sometimes I feel like my grammar is off. Um, there's something else too, right? Like I I used to mention this before, but this is just like a limiting fear, or just like a silly belief that sometimes my brain tries to place tricks on me on tries to play tricks. You see, now it's happening even more because I'm thinking about it. Um, Growing up, I don't want to say I had a speech impediment, but I definitely tend to mumble my words a lot and speak too quickly, if you may. My brain processes thoughts very quickly. Um, and sometimes my mouth tries to follow that cadence. And so, anyway, when I first started recording anything, podcasts, YouTube, social media, there was always like a little thing in the back of my head saying, like, people are not going to understand you. You don't speak clearly, blah, blah, blah. And I know that's not true. Like I definitely listen back to my podcast episodes from time to time and I'm like, ugh, I gotta slow down my speech. But it's nothing that's going to stop me. And I'm sharing because this is me being an imperfect human, still doing the damn thing, because there's a greater message here. There's a greater audience that I'm trying to reach, that I'm trying to impact, and that is more important than my small insecurities. And so I'm just sharing that so you can see how in real time I'm still battling my own inner demons, if you may. I've just have enough reps in the game to not let that stop me like it stops many people in their tracks when trying to run a business. And so, what I was saying prior was that those moments of bliss that you have in motherhood, those wow, I am so blessed moments, holy crap, what did I do to deserve this beautiful baby that I hold in my arms, and the bliss that you see when your family members are playing, with your kids, and all this love that is surrounding you as a mother. You get to feel that in business too. And I genuinely feel immensely blessed to not only to be partaking in both, but to be doing both simultaneously. And you better believe that because it's simultaneous, it's like, yes, it's double the chaos at times, but it's also double the blessings, double the grace. Like, my kids are sick. I'm only recording this episode today, and then I'm taking them to the doctors. I didn't have to ask for anybody to do that. It was a simple switch around of my schedule. Like, being my own business owner requires a lot of leadership. Being a mother requires a lot of leadership. And yeah, sometimes that can be heavy, right? But I wouldn't change it for the world. I love the life that I've created. And to be frank, I think any life that you have, whether you're working for somebody else or working for yourself, or um, let's bring it to motherhood, whether you're homeschooling or taking your kiddos to school, like it's all hard in some aspect, right? It's all challenging in some aspect. I choose this hard. I choose the hard that allows me to be flexible. I choose the hard that allows me to bring in money so my family can have um, a more expansive lifestyle. I choose impacting women on this capacity so that I have an identity outside of motherhood. I choose this over anything else. Um, and as a mindset coach, as someone who geeks out on manifestation and energetics and law of attraction and what is possible in this world, in this universe, by law, by science, not by woo stuff, as someone who is a deep diver in those kind of ideologies and educational resources to learn more about those things, I know without a shadow of a doubt, one, because I am an example of it, but also because I study this. In this world, you don't have to, how do I say this? You don't have to give up anything. In this world, you get to create your picture perfect lifestyle. And the only thing holding you back from achieving it is your mindset and your beliefs of how to get there. In this beautiful world that we live in, I live my life with the analogy of this and that, not this or that. So I bravely, courageously chose to run my business and raise my family, not let me put my business on hold while I raise my family, not let me go ham or hard in the business while my family takes a backseat. No. I live in a world where it's this and that. I get to be a successful entrepreneur, a leader in my space, alongside being an amazing mother who is present and there for her children. And I share this to let you know that is listening that this is very much feasible for you too, should you desire this lifestyle. And to be frank, whatever lifestyle it is that you desire, it's feasible. You just have to believe it and work on the inner intricacies that complicate the vision that doesn't allow you to execute. Okay, so this is a beautiful, really nice, short 30 to 33-minute episode. I'm going to cut it here and join us, Mama, if you are thinking about joining this beautiful mastermind. We have a beautiful Black Friday sale going on. Um, oh, let me see. Let me check the date. If you're listening to this, you might be listening to it on Black Friday. Yeah, you will be. Right? So, how about this? Because I am so generous, I will say this for the rest of the world. My Black Friday sale ends on the 29th. That is at midnight. But if you're listening to this and you just so happen to catch it on a day after Black Friday and you really, really, really want in, like, without a shadow of a doubt, you want this mastermind, um, just DM me BBB podcast and I'll know that you listened. Or email me. All of my contact information is below. I'll know that you listened and I know that you caught it at a later time. And I will honor this price point and bonuses. The Black Friday sale is super special because it's not just about um, yes, we're slashing off $500, and that's always helpful. The program is valued at $3,499, and the Black Friday sale brings it down to $2,995. And with the Black Friday sale, you get 6 interest-free payments of $499. Should you choose to move forward with a firm, a pay later option, and What's really special about the sale is all the bonuses that you receive. So like, yes, yay for interest-free payment plans and yay for $500 off, but really the golden nuggets are in all the bonuses that you receive. When you buy in the sale as a pre-enrollment before our launch in January, you get a 21-day journal bundle. It's a journal with 21 days of prompts. I am a journaling queen. For those that don't know, that's how I manifested all that is in my life today. Um, Literally, like as I am sitting in our new home in my brand new office, uh, with this beautiful view of a lake or a pond behind us. Like all of this was manifested. All of this was written in my journals before it came to life. My babies, everything that I literally have created has been journaled. And so, if you want an introduction to that, 21 Day Journal is a perfect way to get your feet wet into some of those manifesting practices that is free as a bonus for this holiday sale. I also give away my Mind Reset bundle, which is hella valuable. It was my bread and butter in the beginning of my business. It's what allowed me to leave my 9 to 5. I used to make 1,000 a month off of this, just running it one night a week, Monday nights at like 6 or 7 p.m. Um, and Mind Reset is all about, it has 6 modules that goes into communication strategies, mindset work, the power of positivity. All of these, as I had created this when I was knee deep as a therapist, and I was seeing so many clients a week, maybe like 30 to 40. And I was like, oh my God, like I wish people had these fundamental knowings of the mind and psychology so that when they come to me for therapy, they'll be a little bit more advanced and an easier client to help change and heal because they already had the foundation. So that is the Mind Reset bundle. It is everything you need to know about mental health. I go into anxiety, depression, trauma. Like it is psychoeducation, it is healing, it is practices, it is coping skills. It is so that bundle is so it'll pay for the course, I promise you. And then you also get a 1 hour bite-sized masterclass on mastering your mother's intuition and releasing anxiety, which who doesn't need as a mama. So that's what makes this Black Friday sale so special. um yeah, it's absolutely it's so valuable. It's so valuable. So you get all those 3 things for free when you purchase as a bonus. Oh, and another bonus, you also get a one-to-one session with me as your head coach in this program. We have supportive coaches in the mastermind alongside myself to help you in other arenas of healing and business. But you'll get a one-to-one exclusive session with me that is not offered in the program at any other time. So that's really special too. So yeah, if you're hearing this after Black Friday, if you're hearing this on Black Friday and you know you want to do this, get your booty on that link. It's going to be posted below, and make sure that you get the sale and all the bonuses. But if you're listening to this, and I will say it's before the new year, I will hold it for you until then. If it's before the new year and you're listening to this episode late, I really believe in divine timing, and like I'm picturing like glitter happening right now, just pouring over you. If you are the mama that is listening, that is like, damn, this is exactly what I need, or I am finally ready to make that jump and leap of faith, I'll hold it just for you. For the rest of the world that follows me on Instagram or social media or in my groups, this sale ends on the 29th. But if you're a latecomer and you really, really want in, I'll hold it for you until December. Okay. All right, mamas. All right, humans. Okay, people. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. A special shout out to all of my listeners. You guys are making this podcast more and more well known. I have been getting so many inboxes, emails of people that want to be interviewed on my show. I've been hit up from other coaches that I've interviewed that they've gained clients from simply being on my podcast. The other day, I got this update that we're like number one in somewhere in East Asia. Can't remember the exact country, but whatever. So cool. Like the number one business podcast in like somewhere in East Asia. And I was like, what? That's so insane. Thank you for helping me. We launched this podcast August of 2023. So we're like a year and a half in right now. Wow. So proud. So beautiful. So amazing. So thank you, listeners. Your reviews and ratings is what will help bring this show to more eyes. So if any of my episodes have provided you any type of golden nuggets and have helped you throughout your days, please write me a raving review. If you want to go the extra mile, you can screenshot your testament, your of how this podcast is great for you, and you can tag me on Instagram either at the Healthy High Performer, which is my Instagram handle for just the podcast, or my main account over at julissa.edwards_counseling. I love you all. Thank you so much. I am so blessed to be able to do what I do for a living. And thank you for sharing space and time with me on this day. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me today on Mindset Mastery Podcast. I hope today's conversation inspired you to embrace your own journey of balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship. Remember, it's all about mastering your mindset to create a life of success and fulfillment in both areas. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave a review. Your support helps us reach more incredible moms just like you. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and mastering your mindset.